Hey guys, it's Greg with Phoenix Automotive. I know I'm going to be working on some Audis pretty soon, as I said in the last video, but today I'm actually working on a BMW E60. It's a 2010 535i. Got to get some parts out of this for a couple of customers that needed them, so I figured while I'm doing that, I might as well do a couple of how-to videos. And the first one that I'm going to be doing is how to take apart the center stack and the dash and all that kind of stuff, how to get the CIC or the CCC, the DVD player basically, out of the car. Also how to get the center vents out, how to get the HVAC, the climate control stuff. And I'm also going to do how to get your car into neutral if you don't have a key and you need to get it into neutral to either tow it or pull it or whatever. So, all right, here we go. All right, cool. So, I'm in the interior here. First thing we're going to be doing is taking out this air freshener. I assume this car was smoked in. So let's, don't smoke in your cars. Step, tip one, whatever. So, I'm using a plastic trim piece removal tool here, and I'm basically trying to get in behind this panel, because this vent panel actually just pries right off. Sometimes they're stickier than others, but that is actually how you do it. Try in the middle over here. It's one of those things that once you get it started, it's somewhat easier to do. There it goes. Man, that was tough. Alright, so once it gets started, you can pretty much just pull the whole thing out. Just like that. And then there's a electrical component right back in here, which just pulls out like that. It's not actually clipped in with anything more than just that, so that gets that piece out right there. And the next thing we're going to need is a Phillips head screwdriver, which I guess I didn't bring in here with me. Alright, so we're back on the inside here. There's a screw right up over here. And there's a screw over here. This is going to be to take out the HVAC. Okay. And then with those two screws out, this whole panel, well, most of it, other than just the CD slot. The slot stays in, everything else comes out. I'm going to use my plastic clip removers again. Okay. Oh, I broke that, or that was already broken. Oh, somebody screwed with this before. That's usually clipped right onto here like that. But yeah, looks like it's been screwed with, unfortunately. Clips on the back here. These are, I don't know how well you can see this, but you push down a little bit there, and then these come across like that. And that's the HVAC out. The next thing we're going to be doing here is getting this lower piece off. It's just the trim panel that's going to come off first. It leaves the ashtray in place. Man, some of these panels are on tight. There we go. Come on now. There's 3. And 4. And then again, just a couple of electrical connectors in the back here. And that gets that panel out of the way. Alright, now we're left with a couple of more Phillips head screws. One there. One there. One here. And one here. Once you have those 4 out, this whole thing should slide forward. And that'll give you access to the back, where you have some more wires. Most of these are just going to be pushed in the back, and they pop out
the top, and that comes out like that. And that leaves you with just the main harness here. The main harness you squeeze on the top here and pull it down. And once that's at that angle, that just pops out. So that is how you get the CCC out. Hopefully yours doesn't come out broken like mine did. That's not ideal. Kind of sucks. I'm really upset about that. Damn. All right, so I'm gonna throw that up there for right now. Okay. Now that moves us on to the ashtray. Pretty easy at this point. Pretty self-explanatory. So the ashtray is one screw there, and one screw here. And that comes out like so. Clips on the side here. It's one of those. And then this is out of the way. Now the last thing I promised, and this is going to still need my Phillips head screwdriver and my trim removal tool. If you've got no key in the car and you need to get this thing, because you'll notice it just sits in neutral, you put it up to reverse and drive and then park. Obviously it doesn't do anything because the car's off. So what we do in this case, you pop the bezel off like that. The silver bezel comes off. Now in here, you're going to see that there's a kind of a blade driver. You spin that to the side. If I can get it, I don't have a Phillips or a blade on me, but yeah, that's enough. Anything like a blade will work. So that panel comes off. Now you see in there, there's a hole just wide enough for a screwdriver. So you throw that into the hole like that, and then pull straight back, and that locks the car in neutral. There's actually a bypass or an override on the transmission that will lock it in neutral. So now this doesn't do anything anymore. It's locked in neutral. So the whole center console removal actually went way faster than I expected it to. That's what she said. So I think I'm going to continue on and just do the center console too. I might as well show you guys how to take the center console out, because that is going to be the next thing that I take out. So that was the trick for getting the car into neutral. But I'm going to pull the screwdriver back out of it and then get back to work and do the center console. I'll show you how to remove that as well. So, bonus content. Okay, so T20. One screw here. I got to get this replaced. This T20 socket has pretty much had it. But it's doing the job, so we'll keep on keeping on. That's one. This is two. And then three back in this corner. Over here. So with those three out of the way, we're going to start at the front. I usually like to anyways. And pry this up. It's worth noting you do not have to take the center stack stuff out to get to the console. This can be done completely independently. So if you just need to take the center console out, you do not need to take the center stack out like I have. So with that popped out of the way, you can see all the clips around the edges. That takes that piece out of the way. So once you have that piece off of the middle here, the next thing you're going to do is slide this carpet out on the side. Kind of hard to see, but I'll try and move and make it a little bit more clear. You can see there's a panel of carpet right here. I don't know where this is supposed to be pulled out from. I know that's not what you want to hear, but I think it slides back. Yep, and then slides forward. So you'll see there's a couple of bolts right there that we're going to be taking out. And then we do the same thing on the other side. And we'll get those, but they're 8mm. So I'm going to go grab my 8mm and I'll do this side and then the other side. Actually, I don't think you need to take that one. It's just, yep, it's just the front one. And so with that, we move on to the other side. Basically the same thing over here. We're going to take this carpet piece off. And with that off and out of the way, we have access to this screw bolt, whatever, right there. So that takes care of the front. Now we just have to take care of the back. Okay, so you're going to want to come into the back here. This bottom panel is going to come off. So you slide in like this and pop, and that'll pop out like that. Now take your electrical stuff off here. Hopefully you can see that. Rear heated seats, pretty nice option. There's a 10mm bolt. I don't know how well you can see it down in there. But what we're going to do is put a 10mm on a wobble extension to be able to get it. Okay. Now, you probably see it better now. One there. And one there. And that's going to free up the entire back of the console. So now we're going to move back into the front, where we just have a couple more bolts to do, and the console will be out. So hopping back into the front seat here, we're going to take these last two T20s, one here, and one here. Okay. 1 and 2. And that's going to pretty much free everything up. Okay, so once you get those last two bolts out of the front here, the entire console is basically free. You're just going to have to get a couple of more pieces of wiring, and the e-brake handle are the last two things. So start fishing wires out of the back here. I believe there's one other one that goes up to the, yep. Yeah, there's one that goes underneath here to the HVAC unit. And that'll get you up this far. Now the e-brake boot is kind of hard to show what I'm doing here, but I'm actually popping these things out from the underside so I can get the boot off. I'll try and show it once I have it kind of on its way out. Okay, so I've gotten it started, and I'm going to use the pry bar for the rest of it, because once it's started, it's a little bit easier to get from the top. Typically, once you get one complete side on these, it's completely free. In this case, it doesn't look like it wants to. There we go. Okay, so what I was doing there, you can kind of see on the side here, you see these clips? That clip right there. They basically just need to be pushed in enough that the boot can slide out. And then you kind of fish the boot back through. I guess you could take it right off. I mean, if you want to remove it completely, you can just cut that zip tie and the whole thing will just come right up and over. I guess I'm going to do that for simplicity's sake. We'll just take the boot right off to conserve it. And then it'll just slide right over the top like that. You'll use another zip tie when you put it back in, but that should basically be it. The only other thing is the iDrive underneath the underneath here. Let's see if I can take it off in such a way to show it. No, I can't really, but it just pulls out. It's just, you know. the one wire there. Oh, nope, I lied. There's a couple more underneath there. Always be playing with wires, you know, pull carefully so that if you're missing any, like I just was, you don't rip them out of the dash. But there's a couple of USB and aux, I think, on the inside of the dash there. And that is how you get the center console out of an E60. Alright guys, so that is how you do all the stuff that we just did in this video, including the center console and the center stack. Thanks for watching.